Hello, I'm Abby McHugh-Griffa, Executive Director of the Climate Solutions Accelerator, with just a few quick updates for you, followed by a brief reflection. So to start, I want to thank Teresa Church for all the wonderful work she's done for our organization over the past few years, initially in a finance and communications role, and more recently as our communications and events manager. Teresa has moved abroad to have life adventures, and we wish her well, but this means she is transitioning out of our organization. And to fill that role, we have just hired Alexis Russell, who brings deep experience in the communications and marketing realm. And we are especially excited for the work that she's going to be doing to help us tell the story of our work and of the impact we have on the community. So again, thank you, Teresa, and welcome, Alexis. Next, we are very excited to be unveiling our brand new Community Progress Monitor. And this has been a long time in the works as part of our Collective Impact Initiative. This is our shared measurement system, if you're familiar with the Collective Impact model. And I'm not going to tell you all about it because I want you to go visit it yourself and see what it's all about. But if you are a local climate advocate, there's a lot of great data there that I think will be helpful for you to make your case. And a lot of people have contributed to creating this Community Progress Monitor, including most notably our data manager, Omar Aponte, as well as the consultants from PTKO. We have a volunteer, Radhika, who is helping with the effort, as well as our designer, Andrew Sushier, and all the people who have already provided feedback on the platform. And as you will note when you get there, we are inviting additional feedback because we do want this tool to be as useful as possible, and we will be continuing to evolve and update it. So please let us know what you think and what you would like to see happen with that tool moving forward. Next, you probably noticed that the temperature is starting to drop, which means that heating season is right around the corner. So if you have not yet had a conversation with one of our energy advisors about your home's energy needs or place of business, and kind of mapping out your path to full electrification, now would be an extra good time to do that, not only because of the upcoming heating season, but also because unfortunately there are some incentives that are going to be going away in the near future. So if you want to be able to take advantage of those, now would be the time. And the energy advisors, their job is to be there as a helpful resource to you, free of cost. They're not trying to sell you anything. So it's really just to get information and input, about your specific needs, and they'll connect you to contractors. They'll help you weigh various proposals. So they're there to help you, and please take advantage of that. Lastly, I want to mention that we, for the first time ever, have a Fringe Fest event this year called Eco Vibes, and there will be 2 shows on September 13th at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock at Washington Square Park, totally free, of course. And this show has been mostly organized by volunteers with some support from our Director of Public Engagement, Brady Ferguson. But honestly, I don't know exactly what they have planned. I'm as excited to see it as anyone else and see how they are bringing the arts and climate movement together. And this leads me to my brief reflection. As you may know, my background is in music, so I have been thinking a lot lately about how that experience shaped me and prepared me for the work I'm doing now, and just sort of influenced my view of the world and how I see things. And that was reinforced recently by reading this book called Power: Limits and Prospects for Human Survival, which I know sounds like really dark, but actually it's not. The author, Richard Heinberg, does a pretty comprehensive exploration of what is power in many different kind of definitions and realms. How is it distributed? How is it used? How do we negotiate it? And one of his big takeaways at the end of the book is that to start to, power down our society and stop this just like overconsumption treadmill that we're on, one of the things we can or should do is to invest more heavily in beauty and joy and pleasure, and specifically the arts. So again, this is part of why I'm excited about this Fringe Fest event. I would encourage you to participate. The arts in general, you could argue against this in certain realms, but in general, are pretty eco-friendly activities, right? I think of myself back in the day in my practice room, just me and my cello and my metronome. There weren't a lot of carbon emissions associated with that. And so I would encourage you to explore that arts and climate connection through this Fringe Fest event. Again, it's called Eco Vibes, and also in your own life. Where are the opportunities to add more beauty and joy and pleasure and enjoy the arts, and at the same time, get off of that consumption treadmill. And that's it for today. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you're enjoying the beginning of fall.